Welcome back to another week of What's for Dinner. So we are getting started by making just some sweet and sour chicken in the crock pot. So this is definitely a meal where I was just trying to use up what I had in my fridge. So I've got some chicken breast here. I'm just seasoning with some salt, pepper, minced onion, some minced garlic, and then I had some buffalo sauce in my fridge, which was really kind of the inspiration for this recipe. So I'm just going to take the buffalo sauce, and then I got this sweet chili sauce as well that I'm going to put in and use as the sweet component. I actually found it at Dollar Tree and it was actually really good. Also adding a little bit of soy sauce, and then we're just going to cook this on low for about 5 to 6 hours or until the chicken is cooked through. To go along with this, we're going to have some rice. So I'm just making some in the Instant Pot. It's my favorite way to make rice. I use the 5-10 method. So it is high pressure for 5 minutes, and then you let it naturally release for 10, and it comes out perfect rice every single time. The rice is cooking. I'm going to move back over to the chicken. So at this point, the chicken is completely done. So I'm just making a little cornstarch slurry to thicken up the sauce. I'm going to remove the chicken from the crock pot and just shred it on a plate. I do this whenever I want the chicken to be a little bit bigger pieces. It just works better with a fork this way. It does take a little bit more time than a hand mixer, but when I don't want like completely shredded chicken, I will just use 2 forks. But I'm going to go ahead and add that cornstarch into the sauce, and it thickens it up very nicely. I'm going to add the chicken back to the crock pot. Here's what it looks like. This was delicious. It was a little spicy, so just kind of keep that in mind, but it was really, really good, and we served this on top of our rice with a side of broccoli. Okay, so this next dinner, I actually planned to have burgers, but whenever I opened up my hamburger, it was bad. It was very soured, so we kind of had to plan something else. So I've got some corn. I'm going to make some French fries in the air fryer. So keeping with that same plan, but I had to kind of revert, and we're going to do some grilled turkey and cheese sandwiches. So I've got my pan here. I'm just going to heat up the turkey. Thank goodness I had this because, sometimes you don't always have things like this. But anyway, I'm just heating up the turkey in the pan. I like to do this beforehand just to make sure that everything is heated through. And then when I make my grilled cheese, I like to use mayonnaise instead of bread. I just think that it gives it a better flavor, makes it a little bit crispier, and honestly, it cooks a little bit faster too. Even though my hamburger went bad this night, everyone still loved this meal, and honestly, grilled turkey and cheese is probably one of my favorite dinners or sandwiches, whatever. I have a grilled turkey and cheese, quite often just because I like it, but my kids also love it. So everything worked out, but sometimes you do have to plan like on your toes, and that's exactly what I did this night. So here's what it looks like when it all came together. We had our French fries, our corn, and our grilled turkey and cheese. Next, we are making some tuna salad sandwiches. So Tuna salad is definitely not for everyone, but we do like tuna, so I'm just opening up 4 cans of tuna. I've got it draining in the sink, and then as I chop it up, we like our tuna in smaller pieces. I've got some water draining just in the sink to get the extra juices down, because tuna doesn't smell very good, but I'm just going to break it up with a fork, and then we will transfer it over to a bowl. So to season my tuna salad, I do use quite a bit of seasoning, so we'll just do salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder. And then I like to use a little bit of mustard, quite a bit of mayonnaise. And then I use dill relish and sweet relish. And I don't really measure anything. I just kind of measure with my heart. And I just kind of do it the way that I feel like it's good. And then I'll taste it and add what I need to. But yeah, this was definitely a really good dinner, and we ate it for lunch for the next couple of days. Tuna is just something that we like to have on hand sometimes because you can have plenty of meals with it, and it is very high in protein. I forgot that I had actually made some boiled eggs as well, so I'm just chopping these up. I like to use this little tool that I actually got at a yard sale probably like 8 years ago at this point for $1, and I use it all the time. I love it. It's just an egg chopper or slicer, whatever you want to call it, but we like to add eggs in ours too. Here's what it looks like. We served ours on hamburger buns that I was supposed to use for the burgers. We had some leftover corn from the previous night, and we also had some chips. So this last dinner is just pancakes. So I like to use this pancake mix. This is the Krusties, and I have heard that this is what they use in quite a few restaurants, and it is really delicious. So I'm just using the 2-cup portion, and that seems to be good for our family so we can have leftovers. So the water on the bag, I don't remember the measurements exactly, but I do know that I always have to add more water because I like my pancakes to be just a little bit more liquidy, because they're just easier to work with that way, and you come out with fluffier pancakes versus like more dense pancakes, if that makes sense. And then I always season my pancakes with cinnamon, vanilla, and just a little bit of salt. So I'm just going to mix that together until I feel like it is the perfect consistency, and then we will move over to the waffle makers. So I have one waffle maker and one pancake maker. It's actually a griddle, I think it's called. But these are the Dash ones, and these are like anywhere from $8 to $12 depending on where you get them. But I absolutely love them because when it's heating up, there's not a light on the waffle maker, but there is one on the pancake maker. And when it's heating up, the light will be on, and when it's up to temperature, the light will turn off. So that's kind of how I determine like when the pancakes are done. You kind of just have to get to know your appliances. But we're also going to have some bacon. So I've got a package of bacon. I'm going to line up my cookie sheet with some foil. It's just for easier cleanup. I still have to clean up the grease off the bottom of the pan, but at least like all the little brown bits and stuff don't get on the pan. I don't have to scrape those off. This is my favorite way to make bacon. So I've got my oven cold right now. I'm going to lay the bacon pieces out flat, and then I will put the bacon in a cold oven, and I'm going to preheat it to 400. Usually by the time it is preheated, the bacon is almost done. So when it's preheated, I'll set a timer for 5 minutes, and I'll check it every 5 minutes until it is to our desired crispiness. I'm also making some eggs, so I'm just scrambling up some eggs in this bowl, seasoning with salt and pepper, adding a little bit of milk, and then just frying up the eggs. I feel like everyone knows how to make eggs, pretty self-explanatory. So that was our dinners for this week. I hope that you guys enjoyed this What's for Dinner. If you did, make sure and give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please subscribe. Other than that, I will see you in my next one. Bye.